It is 12/22/2025. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, whatever the hell you celebrate. Great to have all you guys together on the Level Up College Football Podcast. It was a couple of days and counting. Excited for the holiday, excited for the people, but even more so excited because we finally gonna get some real damn college football played around here. So come on with it. Thanks all you guys for rocking with us. We appreciate everybody in the live chat coming through to watch us today. Happy holidays to all you people out there. Make sure you like and subscribe and share wherever where you get your podcast. Audio on the audio side, Spotify, Apple, and or Google. Wherever you watch it on the video side, the KnoItAllz podcast channel on Facebook. You can watch us live on YouTube. Here in a minute, we might be on Twitch and Twitter, and we got a bunch of other things we're working out over here on the KnoItAllz side. But we're great to have all of you guys with us. And I got to say what's cracking first to my co-host, Theresa B. Girl, what's happening? Happy holidays to you.
Happy holidays to you. I am excited. Yes, the two games was very interesting. The other two games was boring as heck. I didn't even watch the whole game. So, yes, I am into this college football thing and ready for next week.
Absolutely. Sarah C, girl, what's cracking? I see you got a split background, a Steelers thing over there and a Buckeyes thing over there. I see you representing. Did you hear about DK? You hear about what happened?
Games. I mean, I'm not
Adios,
surprised.
muchachos. Adios, muchachos. But yeah, but how you doing? How you doing, Sarah?
I'm doing good. Yeah, sorry I missed last week, but no, I'm excited to see this weekend's games, or really it's the week after. I don't know. They're like mid next week. So we got a little bit of time between whenever these games start, but yeah, I mean, that Alabama-Oklahoma game was great. Even the Miami A&M game was great. Yeah, those other two just not really, worth the full watch. But I mean, it's still nice to see what some of these teams could do. At least James Madison had a little bit more fight to them, I feel like. But no, I'm excited for what's going to come because it's going to be some really good matchups.
Yeah. I think from now until the kickoff on the 31st, New Year's Eve, I think you got to just be happy and content with watching some of these bowl games. There are going to be a few bowl games that's out there that's going to be pretty decent, but it's still diabolical because you got all these kids, there's coaches switching teams, transfer portal, what we're going to talk about here in a second, that's going down. It's just unbelievable. So you don't even really know who the roster is. And that leads us to our first subject of what we got going on today. Y'all, the transfer portal is revved up. So I've been talking to my squad and my team, my co-hosts over the last few days about everything that's going on over in the transfer portal. And I'm seeing kids that I was like, there's no way they're in the portal. And the big position is the quarterbacks. These quarterbacks are jumping in there like there ain't no tomorrow. So, and they've changed it now to where there's only one window unless your coach leaves, right? So I just want to see what you guys think concerning the transfer portal, how it's working. Is there can we get another? Because listen, two of the teams in the college football playoff, Texas Tech and Indiana, have built their programs based on being able to get cast-offs and castaways from transfer portal, where these are two teams that can actually win it. So I just want to get you guys' reaction maybe to a couple players you see in the portal. And or do you think this is going to actually work? Because I ain't feeling it. Sarah, I'm going to start with you. What you thinking concerning the transfer portal, how it's working, players, is it going to work? Because I just don't see it.
No, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I hate everything about this calendar that they have created. It is a mess. I don't like the way that they're doing any of this with where they have all this coming in. And you're right. Like these teams, Texas Tech, Indiana, and even some of these other teams now, like Ole Miss, they're all building their teams within these transfer portals. And now they're going to be playing into their season, and now they might miss out, which I think is kind of ridiculous. Because, I mean, first of all, next year, I mean, I don't know what Cignetti's plan is really, if he's going to actually use Mendoza again, the other Mendoza for next year, but he's going to need a quarterback. And there's the brother. Yeah, I didn't know if he was going to start or not next year. But, I mean, you got these really great quarterbacks that are coming out, and, it'd be nice to know if they're going to go to a top program, because that's the part that I don't like, because the top programs are the ones that are playing so into January that they're not able to go into the transfer portal. So these players that are coming out, who do you think you're going to go to? because I'm afraid it's like, like Sam Levitt's going to end up in some like barely D1 school. Like this is just, I just don't like it. I think that you just pushing it back just a little bit. I get it. They need to win it. They want them in the spring games and everything like that. But I just think it's a mess. I don't like it. It's an absolute disaster. And, some of these players, I'm actually a little surprised by when it comes to that part. I was really surprised by Bo Perbola. I really thought that he was actually going to stay at Missouri. I thought he really put up a really nice show. I thought that
second time in the portal.
And I really thought he was going to be able to start next year. Sam Levitt really surprised me, especially now that we know Dillingham is staying at Arizona State. I don't know if he, like I said, like he's a really good quarterback that I would like to see go to a big program. And it kind of scares me because some of these teams, have the older quarterbacks that they're going to be done at the end of the year. And now who they going after? I mean, recruiting is definitely becoming more important again when it comes to that. But now you have all these floaters that I just get, it has a lot of fear. So I'm a little bit surprised by those two, especially. Rocco Beck, I don't know. He started off really strong last year. I kind of waned away from him as the year went on. They just didn't look as good. He started not looking as clean as he did at the beginning of the season. So, I mean, it's definitely, there's a lot of good choices out there. I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen in the next week or two, because we still don't know what's going on with Michigan. So I'm really intrigued to see whenever some of those players start to finally make a decision, because we don't know. And I mean, Biff now thinks that he can fix the entire program, which is
big trash,
slightly laughable. And the fact that he's like, oh, I sat down and I had my interview with Ward Manuel. I'm like, well, there you go. There's the guy who you want to have the interview with, the guy that has literally watched this program just massively implode, all because of half of him. So,
facts.
I mean,
facts.
Bye. Like, let them all go bye. Start anew. Get it, like they have so much potential on that team, and Underwood, like you need to keep him. So you better figure something out, because you're going to have some big problems if you don't.
I agree with all of it. Theresa. Now, Sarah went in. She gave him a mouthful, right? So I know that you're going to follow it up with some stuff too, because I'm not feeling it. So there's people, I'll throw some names out to you, Theresa. DJ Langway, Florida quarterback in the portal. Air Noland, backup quarterback in South Carolina, because they're trying to hold on to freaking big trash Lenore Sellers over there at South Carolina. Now you got Dylan Raiola, the quarterback from Nebraska, done hit the portal. I mean, it's diabolical. It is. And I'm also hearing, as these coaches change locations, Theresa, that they're stealing players as they walk out the door. I heard that your boy down at Tech, James Franklin, offered 3/4 of the Penn State roster a deal.
Wow.
So I'm like,
at all.
This is unbelievable. And listen, I got the Buckeye and the crest on my hat, but Brian Hartline doing the same thing. He's trying to get 2-3 dudes, and there's already been a couple guys. Bryson Rogers already done hit the portal. I'm hearing that Jelani Thurman, the tight end, is going to hit the portal. So I'm like, man, what is going, Theresa, what is going on around here? What's happening?
I think it's very messy. I think the one big thing is the thing you're talking about right now is the fact that these coaches are switching and we don't know where everything is not settled. Is there a date for when they have to assign a coach?
No.
Right. So like that in itself is like diabolical, as you would say.
Facts. Big facts.
It's like hard for you to then, I mean, the manipulation and negotiation that goes on with that is huge. And so I see how, I understand the psyche of having the portal of like, if I'm a good player, I'm not being played, I'm set out because there's somebody that's before me. I just remember when Ohio State had all those backup quarterbacks, all of them were good. And right, at any point they could have moved and went somewhere else. But I think that having those backups, you still might get a chance to play. I think that how it's set up now, it's really, really kind of messy. That's the best way, because it opens on the 2nd and you have 15 days. Now, if the coaches are not settled, then what do we do? And if I want to have some of my players go with me, then how does that look? And then how do I set my team up when all those players are going. So it's like such a mixed bag, and I think it's kind of frustrating for everyone. Now I kind of, no, because he was talking about the NIL, but I kind of see how, from a coach perspective, how then do you keep your team? How do you manage your team? And how is it that, you know, everybody has a clean pitch? So I know that there's probably a lot of underlining talks going on behind the scenes, but I think that it's messy, and I think that the calendar itself needs to be pushed out, or some kind of alignment, so that these things are falling into place, so that they have the chance to get who they need on their teams. Is basically how I feel.
I agree. You know, Tim Lyons brought up a great point earlier. He said that they need to fire the college football playoff committee.
Yes,
I agree.
I don't
agree.
But not only do they need to do that, they need to put some type of regulation going on with it. Because the issue is that you get a competitive unfair advantage for those teams that didn't make the playoff.
Exactly.
Right? Because the portal window happens literally during the playoff run. So if your team makes it past this round, the portal window is going to open up, right? And you got kids that's on these teams that's got to make decisions. Yeah. They don't even know at this point who the hell's going pro, who's staying at the university. They don't know.
Exactly.
So you got kids that's making life decisions. And the sad part is you got a 5-star quarterback like Aaron Nolan that's now had to hit the portal twice. Daquan Moore, wide receiver, University of Texas, #1 wide receiver, just hit the portal today. He said, "Adios, muchachos, I'm gone." Right? So it's so unfair for the universities, and it's so unfair for the students. The kids are like, they are literally getting treated like pieces of meat.
I agree.
Literally. And it's not fair. And so you want these kids to have a love for the game and a love for the sport. Look, I'm going to tell my age. I'm going to take it back because I'm older than y'all, right? So I'm going to take
about that.
Well, I ain't going to tell you, it ain't right to tell a lady's age, so I ain't saying nothing. But I'm going to take it back to where back in the day, college basketball would have players sit for their junior year, right? They had to play 3 years, okay? And they would sit, okay? And then they would get an opportunity to go pro. And then they had all these fits talking about a kid should be able to go out of high school and all whatever else, right? And in my opinion, you saw the NBA game slowly deteriorate, right? I'm saying the same comparison to what you're seeing now with college football. I think college football, you're going to start to see some level of deterioration happen because you can't even get good evaluation concerning film and talent because these kids is going from school to school to school to school. And they're making it more money driven versus giving them an opportunity to develop, because the NFL is all about developing from college to the pro. That's and I think you're robbing these kids because a lot of them, as soon as they go to the portal, they're like, I only need 1 good year and I'm going to the league. And then we're seeing what the talent looks like on the NFL side. So I'm gonna get your reaction to that, Theresa. What you thinking?
I totally agree. I think that's why I say it's messy, because you're right. For me, I'm always about the players. And when I talk about coaches, I always talk about if they're a coach that really develops players. How can you develop a talent for 1 year? I mean, you can't do it. And I think, and then changing, different schools and the different plans, the different plays, how their structure is measured, and having to learn new strategies. I think that is going to cause them to not be able to be that developed player that you're talking about. And yes, I can see it demolishing. I do feel as though we also have to consider that those 2 games that were not good this past weekend, that I don't know if the TV people, the ratings went down or what, but you have to also consider that we got to be honest. It's all about the money. So yes, we want to give them opportunity, but the level of playing for a James Madison and a Ohio State, it's not going to compare. And so it's not going to be a good game. We're not going to watch it. It's like, whatever. I think it would have been, they would have been better in a bowl game. I think that would have been more competitive for them. And I think that, if they got stronger, because you never know, like, maybe we'll get to where it's like the March Madness where you have the Cinderella teams. It might be that at one point, but because of the portal, because of programs, because of the big programs, I don't think you'll ever see that because of how it's played out in our in college football itself.
Facts. I mean, this was so diabolical. I thought those first couple of games was like NIT games in the college basketball.
Exactly.
But Sarah, so listen, like I said, we might be beating a dead horse, which I don't think so. Yeah. But do you think that the quality of play that you're going to see start to matriculate at the NFL level is going to suffer because there's nobody at the reins concerning the NC2A and college football?
Yes, I do. I just don't know. I don't know exactly where it's going to be coming from. It's not going to be coming from some of these top tier schools because they actually still know how to recruit and know how to develop their players. Like the kids that are coming out of Ohio State have been there. They're going to play there 3 years and then they're going to come out and they're graduating from there and they're going to, play in the NFL. Like those are the programs that you want. But one of the biggest things when it comes to this transfer portal, and I wanted to say this earlier, this is why these teams need GMs. Like they have to have somebody because your coach does not have the ability to get the one-on-one time with whatever recruits or whatever, kids you want to pick up in the transfer portal. That's what these GMs are for. So, if we're going to create, treat this like a business and treat it like a business, but also if you're going to treat it like a business, you need competitive balance. And if you're not allowing all of the teams to pick into the transfer portal and to these players to be able to come out of their programs after they play in a championship game. Because some of these kids, like last year, Bo Perella did the thing last year. He was the backup quarterback for Penn State. He decided before they went into the playoffs that he was going to enter the transfer portal. That shouldn't be how that goes.
Exactly.
These players have to make these decisions, and it shouldn't be on them. It should be on the schools. It should be the fact that like the NCAA, well, they have no power at all anymore, but they should all be allowing them to finish their semester. I don't know. Like there's so many different things, but the programs right now, y'all got to get a GM. You got to figure this out. You're a business now. You're a multi-billion-dollar business. And the only way that you're going to move forward in any capacity is if you start to make yourself look more like an NFL team. And then hopefully when you get these guys like an Andrew Luck, who can actually go into a room and talk football and can actually help with the development and know like, hey, this kid's going to stay with us. We're going to every single year. I know that I'm creating the relationships because that's the problem that's happening. No one's creating relationships right now because they're bouncing back and forth and the coaches don't have the time. So you need to have that other person that's able to create those relationships. But we can say what we want every single time, but truly, I don't know what's going to finally get them to like see how big of a mess it is because I don't know. I know the SEC and the Big Ten, they have a lot of power, but sometimes they're always just butting heads with each other that no one's making a decision. And you can't put it in these committees' decisions because they barely even know what the heck left from right is anymore. Like it's an absolute mess. I think that personally, it should be a mixture of a computer and the 12 people that are on the committee and put the two together. And then you shoot out some names because you need statistics. You need one-on-one games and they're not using that information. So it's messy. It's a disaster. It's going to be, but hopefully, with the money and everything like that, hopefully someone will figure it out. I just don't know who it is. It's truly.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I agree. Listen, and so that's going to sort of tie me into our next subject. And Henry Johnson, you got a great comment. I appreciate you, bro. Thanks for rocking with us, man. He said, Power 4 teams get blown out in college football too. Ohio State lost 31-0 to Clemson, which was facts. Notre Dame gets blown out quite often when they do make it. And other teams, it does happen. But this is what happens now because you have this transfer portal era. And it's going to lead us into our next segue. A lot of times for these teams that know they absolutely don't have a chance in hell to beating the team that they play, their players are auditioning for teams that's watching them on TV.
Yep.
Right. And maybe auditioning for the opposite sideline. And I think that's where we're going. That's where we're going with this, where you're going to see direct transfers from Tulane to Ole Miss. I promise you. You're going to see direct transfers from James Madison University to Oregon. If they're good enough and the tape look good against who they played, they'll bring them in. And that's where it's going to get diabolical. You're even going to see direct transfers from two opponents that played each other in the bowl. That's why I believe some of these teams said, we're not playing in the bowl.
That's what I wanted to bring that into the conversation, because is that going to be a trend too, that you can decide to you're going to decline a bowl? Mm-hmm. And what does that look like? And I think that even, I know, there was talks about like Notre Dame and, join the conference, those kinds of things. That's why you didn't get in, blase. Does that force them to do, or what is a good look? Did it hurt Notre Dame or did it help Notre Dame? I don't know. I think that's another thing to think about.
Yeah, Sarah, you're correct. It absolutely helped Notre Dame. There's no them sitting out a bowl game. Yeah, they lost millions of dollars, but in all actuality, now I'm just going to take my ball and go home. And guess what that does? That kills the viewership from the college football playoff. Because I promise you, if Notre Dame would have played Alabama, or Notre Dame would have played Oregon, or Notre Dame would have played Ole Miss, it would have been must-see TV. So Notre Dame's like, oh, you trying to mess with our power? You done lost your damn mind. You ain't going to paint us into no corner, pal. And so this is the product you're going to get. So Notre Dame's not backing down. Not at all. They're not backing, and I don't blame them.
Will this be a trend is what I'm asking for the future.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It could be. And O.J. Simpson, you're correct. We saw Isaiah Bond go from Bama to Texas. That is absolute facts. I mean, bro, that's facts. And Tim, they did give him the bird. Let's just be perfectly clear. Notre Dame did give him the bird, and I feel it. I'm not mad at it, because the real reality of it is that when you don't have any guidelines, any structure, ultimately what happens is these kids know that I need to make as much money as I possibly can. What's going to happen is you're going to see no loyalty. You're going to see kids jump left and right. Mm-hmm. And remember, good programs, their coaches get peeled off from them and go to other programs.
That part.
Good offensive coordinator and defensive coordinators are not going to sit at some school. They're going to go to the next place when they get an opportunity to make money.
Exactly.
So there's where the relationships are formed. The relationships are not necessarily formed with the head coach and with the athletic director. The relationships are formed with the position coaches, with the offensive coordinators, with the defensive coordinators. So this thing is a mess. I mean, I don't know. I don't even have the answers to it. I'm pointing it out maybe to stir up conversation amongst people to try to figure out what the hell are we going to do moving forward with college football. Great one, you're right, man. He said they're going to have to change the calendar so the portal window opens in 3 weeks to a month and kick the G5 into a different subdivision. They should. It's like the NIT.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. That's exactly. What
Tim, I ain't mad that you don't mess. Hey, you don't do that because they got big bread, right? Right. He said, I disagree with kicking out the G5. Northern Illinois won at Notre Dame just last year.
That was a fluke.
But this is the issue: is from a financial standpoint, the G5 can't run.
Exactly.
Right. They should have a subsidiary.
Yeah,
what they should. I'll say as far as the playoffs concerned, and that's going to lead us to our next topic. Take the top 16 teams and let them get it on. No buys, no nothing. One plays 16, two plays 15, and then the first and the second round play at their home stadium. So if you're a higher seed, you play at the crib. You play at the crib. But see, them bowls want all the money in. It's diabolical, man. Y'all, it's diabolical. So now, this leads us to our second subject. Y'all, the first round of the playoffs was big trash. I mean, I am telling you, I couldn't even hardly watch it. I was like, what is this? Alabama and Oklahoma wasn't really that great of a game. Right? It was decent. Miami, Texas A&M, are you freaking kidding me?
Exactly.
This was diabolical. So Theresa, I want to get your reaction to the first round of this year's college football format and playoffs.
I felt like Oklahoma, Alabama game was a defense fight. the defense was just like on it for both of them. So I was just like, wow. So I had picked Oklahoma because I thought it was going to be a upset, but the upset came with Miami. So I was really, really impressed. That was also a defensive fight. So both of those games were slow, but the people that I thought was going to win didn't, and I was a little bit impressed with Miami, because they talk about Miami the whole year. First they got it, then they didn't get it. They kept spitting on them, and they said they ain't got it, but they came into the bowl and they beat them. So I'm just like, I was a little impressed. The other two games I really didn't watch. I tried to watch the first quarter of the game, and it was just like, this is so boring. I can't. This is horrible. So money is going to be an issue. That's why I'm like, they have to change that system, and that's why I proposed it before. Do it like the NCAA basketball, and make sure that there's two sets, because the two tiers, it's just not going to be a good fight. So, and we want to see good games, and so I think that's what they're going to have to do in the future.
So, Sarah,
yes,
the first round was a big trash.
I mean, I want to say yes, it was, because I really don't think that either the Tulane game or the James Madison game were really worth what they could have been. It should have been a fun moment. I mean, these are the home games. Like, Oregon is a great program. They have a great home crowd. You would have loved to see them play an opponent on the same level as them. And Notre Dame, yes.
Sarah, Notre Dame.
And the same thing with Ole Miss and Tulane. Now, I mean, yeah, the Bama-Oklahoma game was a little, I couldn't really get my read on it. Bama definitely impressed me in that second half. I think that it was good for Kalen DeBoer. I think it kind of gave him a little bit more of that, like, okay, got over that first hump. Now he's moving a little bit more forward. That A&M, though, Miami game, there was a lot of different factors. I mean, definitely you have two of the best defenses that are in college football. I mean, top 10 right there. And then you had weather.
The wind, the kickers.
So like that definitely can cause a lot of issues. But that's also going to make the ball a little bit harder. And you had one guy who, that's where his strongest suit is that he is more of a thrower. And then you have another one who's rushing, but you have one of the best defensive lines up against him. And that's all that you're going to do is put pressure on him. And that's where he makes mistakes. Everyone knew that was a possibility. And guess what? They did it. I think Miami's defense is definitely the catalyst to why they are where they are. And I think that that's going to continue. I think that, but they're going to be going against, I think, a little bit of a higher tier defense when they play against Ohio State. So I think Ohio State's going to put a lot more pressure on back. But I don't know. Like, I want to do the top 16. I would like the home games. The bowls, I understand. And if we had that extra round, then you could move the bowls down, because those are history. Like, everybody knows the Cotton Bowl. Everyone knows the Rose Bowl. Everyone knows the Orange Bowl. Like, you still want those games there. So I don't think we should take that away from it, but I definitely think that it should be a little bit later. I definitely don't like the fact that, like, because these are the four best teams in the rankings that aren't, like, Texas isn't getting a home game. Ohio State's not getting a home game. Indiana's not. Like, those are the teams that actually, in my opinion, deserve the home game. That's why you get the bye. And then you get the home game. That's how NFL works. That's how every single other playoff system works. I don't understand where the heck they came up with that. So I can see it on one end where, like, you definitely want to have these bowl games, but I definitely think that there needs to be another round so that you get more of those home games, because these crowds, the money, like, they're not even thinking about the fact that how much money these universities would bring in if they had more home games. Like, and game day, like, they could be going into all these different places for a little bit longer. Like, there's a lot more opportunities when it comes to that. So I would really like to see what they do. And I agree, like, have another bracket type of thing. I mean, if a G5 school is in the top 16, like, more power to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Go. But, like, last year, like I said earlier in this year, like, Boise State was ranked. Like, they were actually ranked in that tier. That's why they went. Now, did they look super great? No. But, they had the opportunity because they had such a good season, and you had a feeling, that possibility that they could make it. They didn't think they were going to win, but you thought they could make it past their round. And the way that they fixed the buys that week, like they finally made it the top 4 teams. So I know that they're learning. It just seems to be taking a lot more time than the fan bases want to have. So I mean, I'm going to be intrigued to see what happens in this offseason, but I mean, I'm really looking forward to these games that are coming up this week. I think it's going to be a lot of good football. So, I mean, that's the thing that keeps me going, is because I love watching these kids. There's always going to be these teams that you just see the heart and soul of, and you have coaches like Cignetti, and you have you have these guys that you really want to watch on TV. So you're always going to have that, but it's just a matter of making it a little bit more sets, and keeping the fans interested in every single game and for every single week. And like you said, I mean, I didn't watch those games. Like, I'm sorry, I had a birthday party and a very busy weekend, so I didn't have the opportunity to watch all of the games. But I mean, I wasn't like recording them, and if there would have been a big game on, I would have at least recorded it and came home and watched it later. So they're losing the viewership, which I think is where their biggest issue is right now.
Yeah,
I agree.
Well, that's the issue, and so I pulled the actual poll numbers for those that note the JSU Oregon and for the Tulane Ole Miss. They were some of the lowest rated games in college football history concerning the level of game that was played. These are playoff games that everybody should be watching. And like you said, Sarah, I got a birthday party, or I'm going to watch the game.
Exactly.
I'm going to go, because remember, it's Christmas time.
Yeah.
I'm going to go shopping.
Parties, Christmas.
Or I'm going to watch the game. I'm going to go over here. And check this out. This is how diabolical it was. The NFL said, we don't really care nothing about you either.
Exactly.
And they scheduled stuff right on top of it. They didn't care. Because
it was a better game.
They're in it to make money too.
Exactly.
So we have to do something. And round one, I'm just telling you, it was catastrophic. Round one was catastrophic. We have to do something moving forward. But this is all part of the system. Okay, this is all part of the system, because you had to make sure that the SEC was taken care of, right? So you had to justify this, that, and this. So that's the issue. That's the issue. The issue is, if we're going to take care of one, we got to take care of all, because we don't. One thing I can say about the NFL, and I don't agree with everything that they do over there, they protect the shield at all costs. There's nobody greater than the shield. In college football, I'm not so sure about that. In college football, it might be a team or two or a conference or two that's greater than the whole. And I think that ultimately hurts everything, including what we saw in the playoff, because there's no way in hell. And last point, it's different when you're talking about a G5 school. This was like a Cincinnati several years back that now jumped to a power school.
Exactly.
Right? They jumped. So they were building and they jumped. James Madison ain't jumping. Tulane ain't jumping. If anything, they'll start going backwards. Yeah, they don't have the resources to run with the big boys. So that's why I'm like, they should have it. Let's just stop it. If I don't believe in buys. I personally don't. That's why I said 16. Or if they want to scale it back, let's go to 8. But I think there was some diversity, equity, and inclusion involved in this. I know that's a wrong terminology for it, but there was some DEI. Because why in the hell do we need to include these bums? They don't deserve to be there. So I think that moving forward, they got to move it to 16, put themselves in position to actually take care of the kids. And then that will cut down on what goes on in the transfer portal.
Exactly.
You're not going to see, if you got the top 16 teams in these Power 5 rankings, ain't nobody transferring. Why am I going? Because I know I got a shot, and we're gonna build it up. We're gonna build, and I'm not mad with guaranteeing 5 from the Big Ten, guaranteeing 5 from the SEC. There's 10. Hell, you still got 6 more spots. You give 2 to the Big 12, you give 2 to the ACC, Notre Dame, if you do right, and we give 1 at large. What difference does it make, right? But if you want to include the product to put the kids in position to actually do well, and the universities do well, it's got to be a change. And this first round's not going to work. All right. So we're all for that. We're on to the second round, which I think we're going to actually. And first of all, let me say this. I appreciate all you guys we've seen over in the live chat, man. Henry Johnson, boxing, man. Tim Lyons, OJ Simpson, the great one, Afton, Dwayne McNair. We appreciate all you guys that's in here with us. There's more. OJ Simpson, Brent Howell. We appreciate all you guys. There's the Black and Gold Standard. We appreciate all you guys rocking with us. Me, Gene Joe Green. Thank you guys for rocking with us and appreciate you with the show. What's up, Colton, man? Great to see you, man. Welcome to the show, man. We appreciate you, man. Make sure you like and subscribe and share with somebody, man, for sure. All right. Now, we're to the second round. It's actually going to be some play. Matter of fact, I'm willing to say that the second round it might be better than any playoff format we've seen. These are some games. These are some games. They going to go at it. All right, so we're going to stop. We're going to start at the top of the bracket. If you see the bracket on screen, the top of the bracket is Oregon versus Texas Tech University. Top of the bracket, Oregon versus Texas Tech. Teresa, I'm going to start with you. Who do you like? What do you like? Who you think's going to win? You know, and listen, by the way, I think Teresa, did you pick Bama?
No, I picked Oklahoma.
So all of us went 3-1 in the first round.
Yeah.
All of us went 3-1 in the first round. Okay. So
I thought I was going to be doing good. I knew it was going to be upset, but that was not what I thought it was going to be. So
yeah. All right. So this is good. These picks matter. So Teresa, who you got? Texas Tech versus Oregon's.
I want to go Big Ten. I really want to go Big Ten. I really want to say Oregon, but I think I'm going to go with Texas Tech.
Ooh. Why? Well, tell me why.
I just think they're a little bit more aggressive. But I do know that Oregon's coach is a good coach. So I know that if coaching becomes the factor, then I think Oregon will win. If it goes through hard work, the offense, defense on fire, I think it's going to be Texas Tech.
It makes sense. I think Texas Tech's got some horses. There's no lying about it. All right. Sarah, who you got? Oregon and Texas Tech.
I mean, I've been riding Texas Tech for a while now. Come on.
Whoa, that's a no diddy. That's a no diddy. That's a no diddy. Go ahead, Sarah.
I mean, I love them. I love that defense. I like their quarterback. I like the way that they have been playing all season. And Oregon definitely has that offense. They have a high-powered, really good offense. And yeah, Lanning is great. But they let little things slide sometimes. Like they let little things through. And Texas Tech knows how to take advantage of a lot of different things. And someone put on the chat earlier, like they know how to make the turnovers. And you know what?
They do.
Moore definitely can play a clean game, but I think if he starts throwing a few of those, we're going to definitely see something else. And they still haven't fully gotten their rushing attack together. And I think that that's definitely going to be something that's going to harm them. So, I mean, I want to see a good game. I think it's going to be a really good game. I think that these are some pretty well-matched teams, but yeah, I mean, I'm going with TTU. Like, I love them. Like, they're like the little soft spot here.
I get it. So listen, they're what a lot of teams figure, like one of these things is doing their own thing, one of these things don't fit in. Texas Tech is the team that everybody thinks out of the remaining ones that don't fit in. But they do. I know. They do. And the reason they do is because they paid $25 million for a freaking roster. Let's be perfectly clear. Indiana and Texas Tech have built their rosters based and they put it together. But the issue is Moore, the quarterback at Oregon, might be the number 1 overall draft pick. Moore and those freshmen that they got. And let me tell you this. I love Ohio State. But there ain't nobody in college football. If Oregon had a 4x1 team and that was on their football team, they smoking everybody. That's how fast they are. Oregon is a track team. Every last player that they have, if he catches it clean, can go to the house. Their main top 3 wide receivers, both they running back and they quarterback. If they catch it clean or they break clean, they're to the house. So now what type of game do you have? Texas Tech wants to play in a phone booth, Oregon wants to speed it up and go fast. That's the issue. And y'all think about it. Where are they playing at? And y'all know where's Oregon and Texas Tech playing at? Fast track.
Orange Bowl.
The Orange Bowl, they playing in Miami. Fast, hot track, speedy track. Hell, the Miami Dolphins are built like the Oregon freaking Ducks. The Miami Dolphins want to go 1,000,000 miles an hour. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, H&A, that's how they play. They're going to a place where there's a fast track. I want to pick Texas Tech bad, but I just think that Oregon is just too much, man. They're too fast, right? And speed kills in college football. So I'm going to be opposite y'all. I wouldn't be shocked if Texas Tech wins, but Oregon, I think, is going to handle their business this on first game. Okay. All right. Second game, the diabolical Alabama Crimson Tide. Go play the Indiana Hoosiers out there in the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl. Sarah, what you thinking about Indiana and the diabolical Alabama Crimson Tide?
Yeah, I mean, Alabama definitely looked a little bit better this past week. They definitely seem to have kind of gotten a little bit more gelled, but they're still missing a rushing attack. And I mean, like you can't win. You cannot sustain wins if you don't have both sides of the offense working. You can't just be a pass heavy offense. And I mean, Simpson had a lot of little lulls at the end of the season. So, I mean, can you trust them 2 games in a row? I don't know. Like, I think that Indiana's defense, the way that they show, I mean, we haven't seen them since the Big Ten championships, but the way that they showed how much, they can bully the team on the other side. I mean, I would not be surprised at what they do to Ty Simpson, and they're going to make him super uncomfortable. And truly, again, if no one's running the rock, you can make those wide receivers disappear. We've seen it numerous times this season on that team. I mean, we barely have seen half of them for half the season. So, I mean, if Indiana plays it smart, they're going to definitely make the right moves to, pretty much I think they're going to make Bama pretty much lose the game more than they need to really do anything to win the game, because they have so much talent on that defense that they're going to make Simpson scared. Like, I don't know. Like, I just really, really like Oklahoma. Definitely, like, I loved that defense, but I think that they had so many other issues going on, and Mateer just couldn't put it together. But when you have a team like Indiana where you have trust in your offense and that he can do it, all you want to do is make this side look bad. And I mean, Bama definitely has a couple guys on the other side, but I don't know. Like, I think Indiana really is on the top of this tier of this season. I think that they're in the same realm as Texas Tech and Ohio State. I think those are truly, in my opinion, probably the top 3 teams, because I think that they are the strongest on both sides of the ball. Where I see a lot of the other ones not really having that. So I'm really intrigued by this game. I think that it'll definitely get entertaining. I want to see what DeBoer can do. And I want to see, if they can try to come back. But I definitely think if Indiana takes over early, that Bama's not going to do what they did against Oklahoma.
Yeah. Now, Theresa, before I ask you, I just want to say this. Compare Mendoza to Mateer. Compare Oklahoma's defense to Indiana's defense. Compare Indiana's skill position to Oklahoma's skill position at that WR and running backs. Now, Theresa, you tell me who's going to win between Indiana and Alabama.
When you look at passing yards, Simpson is over Mendoza. But when you look at rushing yards, Mendoza is over Sampson's. So I think the offensive end, whoever has a better game is going to be good, but I think the defense is what's going to get them. I think the defense is what's going to get them, because when you look at Alabama, they only had their Pierce only had 6.5 sacks, whereas is it Hardy? He had 8. So
the defensive end for Indiana, Hardy.
Right. So, and then when you look at tackles, again, Indiana has 87 and Alabama has 76. So I think the defense is what's going to get them. I think that the defense is going to throw Alabama off. They're not going to be able to perform like they normally do with the passing. I think that they're going to get some more sacks. I think they're going to be some more tackles. So I am going with Indiana. I'm going with the Big Ten, but I think that Alabama, to me right now, I'm going to be honest, I think Alabama has something to prove. So if their heart is in it and they want to press, like, y'all think that we don't have, because we'll have Saban, we ain't doing well. I think that also plays a psychological piece in it. But I think that Indiana, I think they're going to pull it off.
Let me say this. I think that the way that Alabama played in the second half, the comeback from 17-0 against Oklahoma was huge, but even more so, the way that they were coached in the second half, that was a lot. Now, I hear you, man. He talking about Bama gonna get physical. That's that diabolical SEC bias. I don't even understand. but Indiana is the maturation of a portal team being built and developing a culture. Indiana has all the pieces that they need to actually cause Alabama all kind of problems. And Indiana is extremely physical. This is where they don't get credit. Everybody thinks that they're a finesse and this, that, and this. No, Indiana plays football. They play, and they have 2 layers. Indiana is too deep at defensive line, 2 tech and 3 techs, linebackers, and DBs. Indiana is deep. So listen, I'm not taking nothing away from Alabama. They're a feel-good story, but Alabama has not shown me that a team that doesn't make them one-dimensional won't beat the brake shoes off of them.
Exactly.
And I'm telling you right now, Indiana got depth, boy. They got depth. And Mendoza is the real deal, whether you like it or not. And it's going to come down to what defensive line can put pressure on the opposing team's quarterback.
That part.
Indiana's going to get after Simpson. Indiana. I'm not saying Alabama won't get after Mendoza, but Mendoza can get out of there. And so it's a whole different ball game, man. Give me the Hoosiers. Give me the Hoosiers. I like Indiana. I'm not saying it won't be close, but give me the Hoosiers for the W.
Yep.
Game number 3.
I agree.
Game number three. The Georgia Bulldogs. Now, and SEC lovers out there, this is the team you need to hang your hat on. But guess what? They got to play another SEC ball game. They got to play the Ole Miss Rebels, who's the hottest team in the freaking country. And don't forget, you diabolicals, Ole Miss had a 17-point lead on Georgia and should have beat them. They had them. They had them dead to rights. So, Sarah, I'm going to ask you, what you thinking? Ole Miss and the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah, this one's interesting because, when it comes down to coaching is really where I think that we're going to definitely see something out of this program. If Ole Miss can really pull this together and if Golden can really have a top-notch type of coaching job on this game, I could definitely see them winning because I think that they have the talent. I mean, they have so much talent on that, especially on that offense. And, now he's also, he's a defensive-minded coach, so it's going to be interesting in seeing where different types of decisions that he does make. But as the season went on with Georgia, in the beginning, I didn't have a lot of faith, and I didn't really know, they didn't have you don't have the names like you did with Georgia every other year. I mean, they've been, but they have the same type of idea as an Indiana and stuff like that. They are super solid in everything that they have. They are playing at a very high level when they need to. And I think Stockton is someone that they can really hang their hat on, which I really, really like. And he doesn't need to be fancy and finessey, and he doesn't make those mistakes like Beck does. I think that having someone coming from Beck who was a little bit more flashy and stuff like that at certain points in time, where Stockton is still driving a freaking truck from, I don't know what, the 1980s. So he just has that, he has this, you want to root for him type of thing. And I think that that's going to make the crowd really get into them. So I think that what is going to get the most interesting, though, because it's really hard to look at this because they played against each other already. But it was Kiffin against Kirby, and this time you're getting Pete Golding against Kirby. And I think that Kirby has really gone into this season where he's really trying to prove as much, because he doesn't have the flashy stars like he normally does. He doesn't have these, top 5, draft picks all coming out this year. It's just a little different. I think that Ole Miss definitely can put up the points though, and that's going to be the biggest thing. I really think it's going to end up being, if they can make it a shootout type of game, Ole Miss definitely is going to take advantage of that, because that's where their strong suit is. And this Trinidad kid is just, he's so freaking entertaining to watch, and I really do enjoy it. I mean, this one is, I'm kind of back and forth on, because I could see them pulling it off. They're playing Sugar Bowl. Okay. So they're playing. So in
New Orleans, right next door. Oxford ain't but a hop, skip, and a jump.
So it's going to probably, you could probably get a split crowd, because I mean, a lot of those SEC fans, if they don't, if their team's on in it, sometimes, but I think that if I'm going to pick an upset out of these 4 games, when it goes from the higher ranking to the lower ranking, I would say I'm going to put my bet on Ole Miss before I pick anybody else. Now,
you taking the Rebels?
Do I think that they for sure can do it? I don't know, but I think it's going to be probably one of the more entertaining games, because it's going to be 2 really, no, I mean, like Oregon with the high flying offense, but I just find Ole Miss to be a lot more entertaining, because I really like the way that they run the ball and everything like that. So I think that if they can, get Lacey out there and breaking a couple things, and Trinidad breaks a few tackles and stuff like that, I think that they could really put up the points. So I'm going to go with it. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I'm going to say Ole Miss.
Yeah. I think the status is going to be for Ole Miss. What is the health of Lacey? Lacey's having shoulder issues. So if he's 100% healthy, and he got time, he's got like 14 days to get ready.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, But Theresa, your thoughts concerning the Bulldogs and Ole Miss Rebels?
So I'm going to use your term. I think Ole Miss has some dogs when it comes to the offense.
Some big dogs. They got dogs all over there.
I think that I agree with Sarah that I think that this might be the upset, because I think that Georgia, they think that they have the edge, but I think that when you just look at stats, I think that Ole Miss is really outplaying them offensively. As it comes to defensively, they kind of play out a little bit, kind of okay. But I think that, defense wins the games, but I think offense, them dogs, I think that they're going to come. So they're going to come for them dogs. So I'm going for Ole Miss. I think it's going to be a close game, but and the other part of it is when you look at Georgia's game, their resume this year, they have almost lost many times. There have been really, really, really close games. I think that Ole Miss has something to prove, and I think that they're going to shut them down. So I think it's going to be a close game, but I think that Ole Miss has what it takes to beat them.
I get it, man. Listen,
I got that little
Ole Miss got dogs. Ole Miss got dogs. Let me just say this about Georgia, and this is just my opinion. Georgia. The reason why we don't know is because they're a bunch of kids. Georgia's still got 5 stars all over the freaking place.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean.
Their blue chip pedigree or blue chip ratio is probably top 3 in college football.
I can see that.
But what they also got is Kirby.
That's true.
Kirby, man, goes to a different level when you turn it up like this. And I don't know if Golden, the new coach, has got it like that. I don't know. He's got a quarterback. Trinidad is a beast. He's not coming out this year, but I promise you next year there's going to be a lot of talk about him going in the top 5. Trinidad is like that. That kid can play football, right? But Georgia ain't scared of Ole Miss. Matter of fact, Kirby's sort of like, I own you. He was down 17, and that wasn't enough, dog. I'm gonna turn it on in the 4th quarter, and you ain't gonna be ready for it. So listen. I like Frazier. I remember we talked a few weeks back. Remember, Theresa, we talked, and I told y'all, I said Frazier's getting healthy. And the more healthy Frazier is, the better Georgia is because they can attack with the running game.
Running the game. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Stockton is a game manager. Kirby wins with those guys. The issue is, will Georgia attack Ole Miss vertically?
Yep.
That's the game. If Georgia attacks Ole Miss vertically and Georgia's able to stop Ole Miss from attacking them vertically, then you know you're winner, right? I think Georgia's going to go at them, man. I think the physicality of the Bulldogs is just a lot. I'm not saying Ole Miss is some bums. I'm not saying there's some bums, but they're a very physical team. Give me the Bulldogs. And it's going to be close. I'm saying this game's going to be 31-27.
Yeah, it's going to be close.
They're going to go at it, man.
That's why I'm saying I won't be surprised either way.
I mean, I think Georgia is the heavy. I mean, they're the favorites, and I think that they can. I mean, they should win it. I should say it that way. They should win it, but I think that Ole Miss ain't no joke. So you can act like you got it, but they might sneak up on you. That's how I look at it.
I just think those players want to prove something because Kiffin left them, and they're playing hard for this guy. So just it's going to get interesting. And I think that's, sometimes heart and having that little bit of a chip on your shoulder can really, catapult you through a game. So
yeah, absolutely. But listen, outside of Ryan Day, the only coach I trust right now is Kirby.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Kirby got 2 of these bad babies.
Mm-hmm.
He got 2 chips. So you can do that 2-chip dance. You can talk that yak. Yeah. All right, y'all. We done reached the game. And let me start this off by saying this right off the bat. Miami, if you got to go back 20 years to get motivation, to get in the dojo with my Ohio State Buckeyes, something is wrong with you. You trying to make up for what happened in 2002. You ain't the same team. This is 23 years up the road. You ain't. I'm just telling you, you better buckle up.
Yeah.
Because the Buckeye boys is pissed off.
They are pissed.
Teresa, Buckeye boys versus the diabolical Hurricane.
I just remember this from last year. I mean, we lost. What was it? What was the score at Indiana, Ohio State? We lost
13 to 10.
Which that was a memory of Michigan. They got pissed. They didn't get their awards. They did all the things. I think that's where they're at right now. Our two players are about to be healthy. I mean, they looked good in the last game, but I think they're going to be really, really healthy for this game. So I think Jeremiah is going to come out there and do what he want to do because I think that he's been sniped. I even think that Ryan Day has been sniped. I mean, Coach of the Year. I mean, I think Indiana deserved it. But I think also Ryan Day has proven time and time again that he is a good coach. We don't always like him losing to Michigan, but he's a good coach. So I think that for me, I think it's a non-thought. I am trying to get tickets to this game as it is right now. One of my friends is a big Miami fan. He's always been he's my male best friend, and he's like, I might have tickets, but you're going to have to sit in the Miami section. I was like, okay, I'll have all my Ohio State on. I am not bothered. Let's go. But I think that Ohio State they don't have anything to prove, but I think they're going to prove it.
So what's your score, Teresa?
Woo, I didn't even put a score for this one, but let me think. Let me say,
sound like you calling out a BTA.
Let's go. I'm gonna go 30. Let's go 30-24.
So close.
Sarah C., the Buckeye boys versus the diabolical Miami Hurricanes. And Michael Irwin over there on the sideline talking all that yak. What you got to say about him, Sarah?
Pulling out the belt and everything.
I mean,
he gonna whoop us. Please.
I think that Miami needed to prove in this last game that they deserve to be in the playoffs. And now that they've done it, now you're really going to have to show something. And I think that this Ohio State team, I agree with Teresa when it comes like every single year, when they get that slight little disrespect, it just seems to put them into a different mind space. And you have a lot of these players who, you know, after last year's, like those seniors that stayed, no, well, we're going to be losing a bunch of other guys this year. They want to prove it that, you know, because last year some of them were just the backups. Now, Reese and those guys, you got some really great guys on that side of the ball. Smith, who lost the Blitnikoff, which that just boggles my brain at the end of time. He is out there. He wants to. I think that kid is ready to win every single game. He has so much fight, and he's playing against his home. You know where he's from South
from the crib. He's from the crib.
He's playing against kids that he played against when he was in high school,
and dominated them.
And that's what I mean, though. Like that's gonna get. Like I think he wants to show, be like, hey, you guys didn't. You know. What interest did you show in me? Oh, wait, I'm at here. I went to the better school. I went to the school that developed me, and look at where I'm at now. So I think it's going to be a little bit of a fight, because I think that when it comes down to that defensive line on Miami, they're definitely going to try to put some pressure on Sayan. But Sayan has proved himself time and time again that he doesn't get uncomfortable too often. So I would hope that he can keep it that way. And the one person that is going to be uncomfortable in this entire game, and his name is Carson Beck. Because I'm sorry. Come on. How can you put any faith in him? Yeah, they won that game, but that definitely wasn't on him. That was on their running back, and that is on that freakish 17, maybe 18-year-old Tony. I mean, that kid is insane. He is fast. I mean, that is their offense. It has nothing to do with them. And I'm sorry. I don't have trust in him. I lost so much trust in him after last year. He really hasn't shown anything this year. He still has those games where he's throwing 4 interceptions. And Ohio State is going to be able to get at them on both sides. They're going to be able to get at them on the passing side, and they're going to put so much on him. He's going to be sacked. I couldn't even tell you how many times, because you know what? He might be practicing against with the guys that are on his defensive line, which I mean, those kids are great. And they have probably one of my absolute favorite football players ever coaching them, because I love Jason Taylor. I mean, he's from Pittsburgh, played in Miami when I lived down, you know, in South Florida. So like, I definitely have that little piece of me in here, but no, it might get close at a certain point, but I think in that second half, Ohio State's going to take over and they're going to win this game. And I think that they are on another nice little trajectory like they were last year, because they lost that game. They lost that little, people aren't showing them that little bit of respect. And that's when they like to prove it. And they have the guys that can do it. And I have a lot of faith in this team after seeing them live and the way that they've really just shown themselves and boosted themselves. They're playing at such a high level, but they also are not really like, I don't know. I don't want to say cocky, because it's like not that, but like they don't have to prove anything to anybody else, because they are showing it with the numbers and they're showing it with the talent. So I don't know. I think it'll be a fun game to watch, but they're going to kill Beck. Like I've just absolutely no faith in that dude.
And let's not forget Bo Jackson. He going to show up too.
Oh, I ain't even got to that yet. First of all, let me I've been waiting all year to say this. I've been waiting all year for all you diabolicals out there. The Ohio State Buckeyes won the national championship last year. They put 16 dudes in the NFL. They had multiple first-round draft picks off their defense. And the number 1 overall pick in this draft didn't even play last year. His name is Arvell freaking Reese. Carson Beck, you better get real acquainted with him, because he's going to cause some problems. That's the first thing I've been waiting all year to say that. Now, McDonald, Reese, Styles, Curry, Downs, all of them is All-Americans. Miami, you ain't seen that. You ain't seen. Matter of fact, everybody I just named you except for Curry is going in the first round. The first 25 picks of the draft, all of them's going in the first round. The first 25 picks. Everybody I just named. That's a problem. And they got other playmakers all around them. Kenyatta Jackson, David Espinosa, McMullen, the safety. And I ain't even got to the offense. Bo Jackson, Jeremiah Smith, Cornell Tate, Klein, Are you freaking serious? Miami, you ain't seen, this ain't Marcel Reed walking in. This ain't Concepcion, who played wide receiver for Texas A&M. This is Jeremiah Smith, the best player in college football, is coming knocking at your door. And he's from South Florida, so he played against all y'all. He ain't scared of near. Matter of fact, he done told you, get some fear and get ready.
Get ready.
Miami, you don't want this. I'm telling you right now, you done woke up a giant. Ohio State is not to be played with right now. They are pissed off beyond the highest level of pissivity. They feel slighted, they feel disrespected, and they are playing for some respect. The Buckeye boys is going to roll the Miami Hurricanes. And let me tell you something else that a lot of y'all don't know. Fletcher was supposed to be a Buckeye boy. Oh, I know the whole story about the recruiting and everything. He was supposed to have been a Buckeye boy. He had actually, so guess what happens when you play Ryan Day and you don't sign where you supposed to sign? We going to make you figure out that you should have brought your behind to Columbus, Ohio and been on the other side of the ball. Get ready for a long day, Fletcher. Because they ain't scared at all of Carson Beck. Not one iota of them is scared of Carson Beck. So, Fletcher, you get ready for it. Now, respect this dude. Tony's a dog. I wish to God, Tony, I'm telling you right now, get ready to hit the portal, dog. Come on to Columbus. Come on, get you some development so you can get to the NFL and come on to Columbus, Ohio. Because you a dog. I'm going to give you credit. Desmond Bain, he's a top 5 pick. I can't take nothing away from him. But the rest of them, get ready. Get ready. They done had 3 weeks, almost 4 weeks to sit and wait and watch film and look.
And get stronger.
Matt Patricia is pissed off. You hear me? Matt Patricia is pissed off. They coming. They are coming. Get ready, Hurricanes. Blowout. Buckeye boys 34. Miami 17. And on to the Bulldogs we go. On to the Bulldogs we go.
Yeah, because they don't think we're going to get the Bulldogs. We coming for them too.
Oh, but listen, let me tell you, I don't mess around with Georgia. I respect them, Georgia Bulldogs.
I respect Georgia.
I respect now because the Bulldog, because Kirby gonna bring it. Kirby's gonna bring it. But get ready, Hurricanes. You pulling from 2002, trying to get some payback. Half y'all on the team wasn't even born. You don't know nothing about, you don't even know nothing. You wasn't even alive. You don't know nothing about it. This is about this thing right here in this machine that we got in Columbus, Ohio. Yes. Get ready, Hurricanes. We got something for you. Buckeyes 34, Hurricanes 17. And I help every person out there that's a Miami fan, make sure you come on back and check me on the Level Up podcast after we take that BTA, because we got something for you. We got something for you, you diabolicals. You ain't ready yet. It ain't time yet. You like that early kid that ain't ready. Get ready for some real football from the Big Ten. Buckeye boys in a blowout. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we to the end of the show. We into the end of the Level Up College Football Podcast. I'm going to say what's cracking to everybody in the live chat. I appreciate all y'all for being there. Teresa, final thoughts as we close out the Level Up College Football Podcast.
I cannot wait to next week. I am so excited. I am anticipating. Hopefully I will be there. And go OHIO.
Sarah C., what's cracking on the close out of the Level Up College Football Podcast?
Yeah, no, I mean, I can't wait for, it's not even this weekend. It's the week after. So I can't wait for 2020, right at the end of 2025 for 2026 for us to really see some really great college football going into this new year. And, I just want to say, thank you guys every week and have a great holiday. Everyone have an amazing Christmas. Whatever it is you celebrate. I think Hanukkah just ended, but, and then we have the new year coming up. I can't wait for what we get to see in the next couple weeks. It's exciting. It's my favorite. I love playoff football. I love college playoff football. I love NFL playoff football. This is the time of year where every single game is going to get interesting and good and stuff like that to stay healthy pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're wishing all you guys a happy, joyous holiday season. I'll definitely be back tomorrow on the Keeping It 100 podcast to talk about my 3 wins in a row. December undefeated. Pittsburgh Steelers just went into Detroit and did something strange for a little piece of change. So I'll be back tomorrow on Keeping It 100, and I'm gonna talk about what we gonna be looking like, maybe for the stocking stuffers, or maybe what we gonna see for the Pittsburgh Steelers this coming up, because you never know what in the world could happen. So there's my pod. There's the banner for the show tomorrow. You see, we done got Santa decked out in that black and gold. We might have a lot of Christmas presents up underneath the tree concerning the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll be back tomorrow at noontime. Make sure you come back and check out the Pump Your Brakes holiday special. It'll be at noon with me, Shannon, Afton, Curb, the whole crew, Tate Boy Fresh. All of us will be over there with Pump Your Brakes. And then they're going to come back with a special Smash the Gas. I won't be there, but my boy Curb, Afton, and Tate Boy Fresh will be holding it down. They're going to be talking about they got to have it, because we in position, y'all, for y'all Steeler fans out there. We can already have the division sold up if the diabolical Ratbirds lose on Saturday. So they're going to be talking about we got to have it this week. And don't forget to go check my boy Tate Boy Fresh out over there on Tate's Take, because he'll be live Wednesday talking about Yenzi's I Told You, because he's been saying RELAX this whole time, and people didn't believe him. But Tomlin, you ain't off the hook, because I need a playoff win. Tim Lyon says Santa abuse. Get up out of here, Tim Lyon. He's supposed to be in the black and gold. That's where he represents. Hey, man, we thank you all again for rocking with us on another live edition of the Level Up College Football Podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe and share. We are continuing to build a channel. We're up to about 1.25 plus K members. We've grown astronomically, all because of you, and we appreciate you guys rocking with us every single dang on week. As for your boy, Big G, my girl, Sarah C., and my homegirl, Theresa B., we thank all you guys for rocking with us. You guys have a great holiday season. We'll catch you next week on the Level Up College Football Podcast.
Bye-bye.